what's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the B3 Podcast. I'm your host, Brett. I got multiple injuries, Matt. I got Tanner the Head. Chris, the artist formerly known as Heavy C, is not here today. We got our show sponsors, Elite Nutrition. Check them out at elitenutritionomaha.com. Use code B3 at checkout for 10% off. Go to the store in Omaha or Lincoln, yell B3.
Get a free shaker.
No Cybertruck rides yet?
Nope. Can I ask you a question? No. A little off topic. So, are you just messing with going back with B3 and
just going back and forth?
Yeah, like, are you going to stick on one, or are we just like, just how you feeling that day?
It depends on how we want to market it that day,
okay.
You know?
Freedom. You ever heard of freedom? Hey, shakers are, like, now that I have boys that are wrestling and playing football, worth their weight in gold.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the strip club.
So go out to Tanner's store, 177th and Center.
Yep.
Yell B3 and get free shakers for your kids.
Okay.
There you go.
How many? So it's one for every yell?
Well, bring your kids.
Just go in there and start screaming.
Bring the kids.
You got to walk in, scream, leave, come back,
No,
scream.
just bring you, the kids, Megan, bring them all in there.
Oh, yeah. I'll be there. We need those.
We also have Rosewood Block. They make the best cutting boards and barbecue, fully customizable. Check them out at rosewoodblock.com. Use code B3 at checkout for 10% off there as well.
No free shaker, though.
No free shaker. We also have the real Midwest Mecca, Omaha Barbell, where we record from all the time, most of the time. There's no discount code.
Also no free shaker.
Yeah, no free
Best
shaker.
gym in Omaha, man. Or
Thank
Nebraska.
you.
Man, Midwest. Let's say that.
The Midwest Mecca. Thanks.
So say America.
I agree.
America.
Yeah, RIP Rick Hussey. You took the mantle over. Brett, I'll tip my hat to you, man. We started there, Kenny and I, and you'll let people know who I am, which I'm no one, but
He's a somebody.
But you really took the mantle over, man, and this, I think, to the powerlifting world here, it means a lot what you've done here, man. Great
Thanks,
job.
Man. So yeah, the guy you hear talking, 2-time Super Bowl champion with the New York Giants when they were good, not now, obviously. Dave Tollefson, he's here. We're going to talk about
Applause.
Yeah, I was saying, where's the applause button at?
No way.
So we got Dave here. It's playoff season is starting. The NFL just had the wild card weekend. Everybody's getting ready for the Super Bowl. So we thought, who better could give us a rundown of what it's like as someone who went through the playoffs and the Super Bowl, beat Tom Brady
Twice.
Sacked.
Applause.
twice.
Kind of sacked him.
You sacked him.
I grabbed his sack.
You grabbed a sack.
The
What
sack
did it
sack.
feel like?
You didn't get credit for the sack.
You asked what it felt
Yeah,
like.
did, like, your hands
I don't
tingle?
remember it.
Like, did it feel like you touched greatness?
You know, I take showers in the NFL. You know if you knew. You know, it was not memorable.
So you guys, the first year you guys went was
07. Went from the Raiders on practice squad to the Giants and won the Super Bowl. So from the worst team in the NFL to winning a Super Bowl, it's I don't even remember what happened.
so. Okay, so you finish the regular season. You're going to the playoffs. Now, even if you look at contractually, your money is only through season, right? So now it's a different pay structure when you get into.
Yes. So they had. It's a little different now, but back then, which sounds stupid saying back then, but I guess 15, 17 years ago, you got paid for the round. So if you won, you got paid this. If you lost, you got paid this. And so what happened in 08, we got the bye week. We didn't get paid. So back then, you didn't get paid for the bye week.
Bullshit.
Now, is your pay just like a flat rate for everybody, or is it based off what your season contract is?
So like Eli had bonuses for winning, but yeah, for me, which I think in 07, I think the minimum was $275, and I got to New York week 5, so I probably made $200. And so, like, these checks in the playoffs were way more than I normally got. So, like, the first round was 25 if you won. Second round, 35 if you won.
So it's everybody across the team gets 25 grand, and except for like Eli got bonuses.
Or, yeah, whoever that was better than me.
It had incentives in their contract, probably, or
Yes.
whatever. Okay.
I think Eli got like $1 million to win the NFC championship. maybe another million to win the Super Bowl. But other than a couple guys, everybody got paid the same.
And that was at each round, or as you went into the next round, the pay went up?
Yeah, everything went up next round. So that's why when I got back after that first Super Bowl, I bought a house. So I'm like, they're going to find out I suck and cut me.
So did you pay? So you pay cash? You just paid cash for the house then?
No, I didn't make that much.
Well,
come
just
on,
checking.
man.
Yeah.
Do you walk in with a duffel bag?
Yeah,
Just
but I bought a house out here in West Omaha, 180th, and paid to get it finished. I bought that house. It was the guy that killed himself. He was building all those houses.
The celebrity homes guy or whatever it was.
I forget his name, but
I remember that story.
He was digging a bunch of basements and getting the money and going to Vegas and bet, which I can't hate on the guy.
Sudback? Not Sudback.
It's a good theory.
Yeah, I'm digging a basement. Give me $100,000. It cost him 20 to dig it, and I guess he didn't win. He wasn't a good gambler.
Everything on red.
Yeah. So we built that house, and then it was like I got to make the team. It was another 1-year deal after that. But like the playoffs are interesting because everyone makes the same. So it becomes like how much everyone cares. So like during the season, like there's probably you have a 53-man roster. I bet 10 to 15 guys are making $1 million a year or more. It's not everyone in the NFL doesn't make $1 million. You know, so like those are the best teams that can build that roster on the back end. Guys that are backups, special teams guys, can they get the cheapest guy
through the draft now?
Or yeah, so that Minnesota's in this quandary with Sam Darnold and JJ.
Yep.
Sam, you're gonna have to pay 50, or you can keep JJ, not re-sign Sam, pay JJ the minimum. Now that you give him his signing bonus, and you can sign other guys. So it's actually the whole business side of the NFL is extremely complicated, which is what makes it really good. That's why every team feels after the draft we're gonna win it this year.
Except for the Cowboys, they never think that.
Getting to the Cowboys,
Dude, at least I've been a lifetime Cowboys fan. You got old fucking Mahomes nut hunger over here.
He's a lifetime Mahomes fan.
Yeah, he's a lifetime Mahomes
fan.
I like Mahomes' attack.
If you were to attach yourself to one other person in the NFL, Mahomes he's the guy.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't make you less gay.
It's tough to make you more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't be more gay.
But you're a lot like if I were to swing that way, Mahomes.
He likes Mahomes too.
And he's got soft hands.
You're
makes
just
sense.
a little
Yeah,
gay.
yeah.
You're a little gay, but
You're kind of built like him.
I don't think so.
I mean, you both have 2 eyes, a nose.
Yeah, kind of.
That'd be the guy you go for, huh?
A little thicker.
I don't think he's handsome enough for you. You'd go for somebody else.
If I could have one man in the
Yeah, who would it be?
oh, Derrick Henry, dude.
No way, you're a Josh Allen guy.
Oh, you'd have to be Bob.
I love Josh, but come on.
You guys can hunt together after you do
Yeah,
stuff.
but like, if I'm gonna have kids with him,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
you're brain for speed over there.
Yeah, I get that.
I mean,
yeah.
Derrick Henry's got longevity. I mean,
yeah, like
Yeah.
I love Josh, but like this is my husband, I'm the wife.
I was gonna say you're gonna have to be a bottom.
Power bottom.
But yeah, you can fight back all you want.
No, I'm gonna fight, dude. Power bottom, man.
so once you guys you get into playoff mode, now what are practices like? How is that all? That obviously all changes, I assume.
Yeah, so they get easier. You want to be outside. That was always a big thing with Coughlin, was in the elements. It was so that 07 run, we played in Green Bay for the NFC Championship.
Whew, risk.
It was the 4th coldest game in history, -25 wind chill, all that stuff. But we practiced outside all week. Green Bay had to practice inside because all the snow. Now, they left the doors open, kept it cool in there. But, man, that's what makes football so unique is you play in these elements that matter. Now, I wore like 3 sleeves. It's the only game in my life that I didn't want to play. It sucked.
It's just so fucking cold.
How do you get warm? No.
You don't.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I love like the big heavies up front, and they're just like out there
Sweating.
Good for them.
Yeah,
Good
they're sweating.
yeah. So my buddy Jared Erspalmer, he's a Village South guy. He actually changes tires. You should have him in here. He changes tires for Chase Elliott.
Oh, I met him.
Yeah, Jared's the man. So
Yeah, he's been with those guys forever.
yes, so Jared was at Northwest when I played in that game. He's like, "You're really gonna wear sleeves?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You're a pussy." I'm like, "Yeah."
cold, man.
Yeah, it's cold.
Fucking cold.
I don't play all the time. I'm a backup.
And dude, the only thing that makes it worse if it was raining.
Yeah. Yes.
That's the only thing that would be worse if it was raining.
The worst weather ever is rain at 33 degrees.
Yes.
It's the worst. But this is why I love football. Is like, what other sport do you have to take all of this in? So we talked about KC this weekend. The weather in Kansas City is going to be nasty. So who's going to handle that? Football encompasses who we are as America. It really does, because it's like no matter where, when, what, why, we're showing up and we're playing football. Mm-hmm. Like, it's such a
I
unique.
think like lightning's probably the only time
That's
that
it.
it would get canceled.
That's it. So that Green Bay game, I remember watching the news. We stayed in Appleton, which is south of Green Bay. They're like, stay inside. Frostbite warning.
The air
Well,
is
didn't
trying
they-
to kill you.
Wasn't that KC game last year? And a bunch of fans got frostbite. Wasn't
Yeah.
that one of the super cold games there too?
It was freaking cold. That was against Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was trying to tongue up pictures of Mahomes and kept freezing to him.
See?
Because you get the metal prints.
So Miami's the opposite, though. When I played for the Raiders, we had to go down there. Miami always wears white on home games.
Because it's hot.
It's cooler.
We had to wear our black jerseys. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah,
It was
that
like
humidity and
November.
shit.
Like
Yeah,
it's
fuck
been
that.
60 every day in Alameda where we practice. We go there, it's 85, 100% humidity. I'm like, this is worse
You can't
than
breathe.
Green
That's
Bay.
like the worst part of breathing.
Yes.
You're
It's
jumping in this
terrible.
warm pool, take a breath.
But that's what's so cool about how we operate. Like, we're such a large country that you can garner these advantages regionally, right? So, yeah, I mean, leading into that 07 year, like, I hadn't even played much. So I'm like, Michael Strahan's backup. Like, you need a rest, Mike?
Can I play?
Yeah. It was much more unique compared to the second run. Like, I remember a lot more about the second run because I was such a piece of the puzzle. America.
So I know Strahan's your boy,
Yeah.
but how many times did you ever be like, it'd be kind of cool if you got hurt so I could play some more?
So,
I mean, that has to go through your head a little bit.
yes. What kind of? He's really good. Like, he's better than
Not
me.
like hurt, like-
Yeah, I mean, like
just
maybe
break-
he's out for like
So
the
ankle,
that
yeah.
happened though against Dallas. He had a groin issue, and I got thrown in the game late. This is 07, and I made like a TFL late in the game, and they were trying to get Strahan back in, but I just made that play, and Mike waved me back on the field. And it was like such a reassuring thing as a young man for a Hall of Fame player to say, like, no, you got the juice right now. And now he probably was like, I don't want to fucking go out there. I'm hurt. But in my mind, I'm like, man, this guy.
But you weren't making him look bad.
Yeah, this guy, he's lost a Super Bowl, but he trusts me to go and do his job better than he could at that point. And like, it was that New York was so unique those 5 years I was there because of how much we all cared about each other. That we have a text string with all of us, and we revisit how much we mean to each other quite often, because it just doesn't exist. What we had for 5 years, to have the best D-line in the NFL for 5 years straight with basically the same guys. You take away Strahan, you add Jason Pierre-Paul. But, like, it was the same dudes. And so, like, we all trusted each other. Like, we did stupid shit together. So, like, I'm not going to rat on him. I'm not going to rat it. So, like, you kind of got into situations outside of football, which I won't get into because I feel like my wife might listen to this podcast. But that's what makes, again, what other sport has 53 guys trying to do the same thing? I mean, it's one of my old buddies that I hunt with, Mike Gurnett. We call him Dewey. He said it could be fake, it could not be, but there was an old general that said, someone asked him, why have we never lost a war? And that general said, we're the only country that plays football. And it's such a microcosm of what America is. That's why we love underdogs, right? I mean, so you get in this playoff world and you run into situations, well, this is the best team. That's what's so cool about the Chiefs. Is like Mahomes does not care how he wins. That's dangerous.
Like when he started the league, he was a top passer, and now he's almost a game manager. He doesn't give a shit.
He's like Eli Manning, first ballot Hall of Famer. We'll get into that later. But you're right, though. Like, well, you look at Notre Dame.
That's going to be a good game on Monday.
A lot of people are like, man, Ohio State's so much better. Notre Dame doesn't care if they throw for 80 yards.
That Notre Dame defense is pretty stout.
Yes.
But that Marcus Freeman's a coach.
Yes.
Like he's a coach.
Yeah.
And it comes down to coaching. I'm going to bet on him. Mm-hmm. Now I'm not like if that game's a blowout, we know Ohio State won, right? If it is a blowout,
but Ohio State's a better football team.
They have better talent.
Yes.
Yes.
But we know in football,
doesn't always matter. Which makes up that game why we love it, man. I hope Notre Dame wins.
I think they will.
Do you?
I just think it's a team that doesn't care. Now, again, our two Super Bowl teams, we didn't care how we won. Didn't matter. A team that does not care how they win is a dangerous football team.
Well, was it on your first Super Bowl team or your second? It was like you had receiver, you had everybody. Like you had 1,000-yard rusher, 1,000-yard receiver.
So let me tell you something that's really surprising to people about Eli going to the Hall of Fame. And I mentioned earlier that we talk about this. Eli Manning will be the only quarterback ever inducted, ever, not first ballot, ever, that didn't play with another Hall of Fame player on offense. He will be the first quarterback ever inducted, first ballot or not, that did not play with another Hall of Fame player.
Because you had some good players, but they didn't last a long time.
But
who's your running back?
Brandon Jacobs.
But he just didn't last a long time.
Well, no, he did, but he was 6'4", 285, which, again, strength and conditioning, we can get into that. Dude, he could not lift weights.
Really?
Oh, he was Ronnie Coleman playing at 6'4", 285. He couldn't lift. It's genetically, you run into people like him. Justin Tuck couldn't lift weights.
They got too big?
Too big. Jason Pierre-Paul had never been to double days, and we drafted him in the first round. He showed up late to every team he ever played for. He weighed 255 when we drafted him, had never lifted weights. By December of his rookie season, he was 295.
Jesus Christ.
We drafted him in, when is that? March, the draft?
April, May.
Yeah, March or April.
255, doing backflips, never lifted weights. 295. I'm like in the gym every day, creatine, some other things, just trying to get better.
Amino acids.
Yeah. And like you're talking about, like Brandon, he showed up at 285 one off season.
Who was your other running back? Was it Rondé?
So in 07, we had Derek Ward, Brandon Jacobs, Ahmad Bradshaw was a rookie. Brandon's son's at Clemson now. He enrolled early. Brandon's son is 6'7", 330. And his other sport is swimming.
What position is he playing in?
Like a tugboat
offensive
division?
line. Yes. No, he can swim. He's an athlete.
Jesus.
Wow.
And then I'm like, hey, man, can I get some lunch here? Like
the common folk out here.
But like you're talking about, I think football. What's so interesting about football? So my son asked me today, he's like, could LeBron play in the NFL? I'm like, yeah, he'd be a Hall of Fame tight end. But like football demands so many different things of you. And my boys wrestle. Wrestling is the hardest sport in the world.
Yep.
It's the hardest. I'm not discouraging, but the best large athletes in the world play football.
Absolutely.
They do. And like, could you imagine any four of us saying like, I can't lift. I'll get too big.
Wasn't that Bo Jackson had that fucking room full of gym equipment?
Yeah.
He was like, I've never touched any of it.
It's all still wrapped in plastic.
Yes.
That dude had so much power, he ripped his own hip out of socket, basically.
Justin Tuck told me a story. He grew up in the middle of Alabama. His grandfather, who was 70, picked up a wash machine that was full of water in the back 40. They were picking it up and set it on a tailgate. What are we talking about here, dude? Just grabbing 500 pounds and like, I have to get this here. It's going to happen. Like, I couldn't do that in my prime, let alone being a 70, 80-year-old man. So, like, we're talking about guys that, like Larry Allen, God rest in peace, man. They made him stop benching. What did he bench, 705?
Something he inclined some fucking freak amount
Yeah.
too.
Guys, if Larry Allen was a strength, like a power lifter, he would bench 1,500 pounds. like what are we? Like, that was his side gig.
It's just the genetics.
Yeah, no,
Wild,
I mean,
right?
Genetics are king, man. They are. But that's what, like, Brandon's a really good friend of mine. Justin's a great friend of mine. Jason Pierre-Paul, all those guys. Like, the beauty about football is, like, I could do things better than they could do in that scenario. And I hate saying it's like the military, but everybody has a job that they're good at, and you find that's what makes it so awesome.
Well, that to me, that's the coolest thing about football, because you can have a guy who's 5'7", weighs 160, and a guy who's 6'8", weighs 380, and they all play a role.
Yep.
Like they all play their role.
So back to the original thing about playoffs, like how does it work? So can you get your team in line with what you're trying to do? The Chiefs have seemed to really find a way to get their guys pulling the rope in the same direction. That's tough. The Bills, they got to beat the Chiefs, man. Doesn't matter how you win. You win by a point. I couldn't even tell you some of the scores of those playoff games. Because we were so well coached, so well prepared that it didn't really matter. So the playoff football, that's what makes the playoffs for the college football so good. Everybody's bitching about it, but it's like, this is what we wanted. No number one seed's not in it. My best friend is the defensive coordinator at Oregon.
Boy, they really shit the bed.
Fuck around and find out.
Right?
I picked them in Georgia to take the whole thing, and then I lost that whole thing.
The best football team I ever played on was the 08 Giants, and we lost in the second round of the playoffs. We had a first round bye, and we lost. You got to play the game, man.
Do you think you got, like, you guys get in your head like, hey, we're back-to-back Super Bowl champs?
No, I think Plaxico Burress shooting himself fucked us.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
Now, you don't think You don't think Plaxico's a Hall of Famer?
No. You know who the interesting thought is on Hall of Fame? Now, Eli, I'm a homer for him. Matt Stafford.
He's got the Super Bowl win.
You know,
And he's-
Matt Stafford.
And
It
he's
was
got
funny.
numbers.
It was always funny because Matt Stafford, you felt bad because he was stuck in Detroit with a shitty team, goes to LA, wins it, but now Detroit's great. So
So you win one, you're in?
I don't know. I mean, with
Joe
quarterbacks,
Flacco?
with quarterbacks, it kind of
Joe
seems like
Flacco?
it. Yeah, I mean, Flacco was comeback player of the year last year.
That just means you sucked a lot the year before.
No, he just came out of retirement basically, almost, didn't he?
I could have played quarterback for the Browns and done okay.
Hey man, they messed that up because they got rid of my boy Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, they got the massage guy, though.
Yeah, fuck.
They did. He does like himself a massage.
Got that money, though. Hey, you
And they
got
knew
to
what
get
they were
that
doing.
money.
He's probably never going to play again.
They
Yeah,
knew what they
he
were doing.
sucks.
They backloaded his contract. They knew he wasn't going
Yeah,
to play.
he sucks.
But it's all guaranteed. They just dropped $250 million on it for nothing.
Yeah, he
Well, that's why I told you. Everybody's like, "Oh, is Dak Prescott worth money?" I'm not saying he's worth that money, but he should make more than Deshaun Watson.
yeah, Deshaun Watson sucks.
There's
I
only-
didn't think he was that good with the Texans. I thought that he just looked really good, but if you actually watched it, it's like I don't know. But you got to think these owners, the guy that owns the Browns, he owns Love truck stops and whatnot. It's a play toy. Like,
Yeah, but they're expensive play toys now. Because what are the Cowboys worth, like $4 billion or something?
No, the Cowboys. Yes, that's what they say. If they sold the Cowboys, it'd be $10 billion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
100%.
that's just their value. I mean, Jerry did not buy him for anywhere near that.
No, but the NFL's just like in the
But I
last
love
20
Jerry,
years.
dude. I, to me, and I'm not I have a bunch of friends that are Cowboys fans, and it's like next year's our year, and I love all that bullshit because we're in the same division, right? But like, at this point in my life, being 43, I like that Jerry runs he is very clear on what he's doing. Like, he's just an old white rich dude that is trying to win games, and he thinks he knows how to do it, which is like, hey man, it is what it is. Now, I guarantee none of you know this. The Cowboys are the only team in the NFL that have individual sell rights to their image and likeness.
Well, he sued the NFL a long time ago for that.
So all 31 NFL teams have to share revenue.
Yeah, he said he wouldn't profit share because Cowboys sold way more than anyone else did. So he said he wouldn't
did
profit
know.
share. I didn't know that was the way it went down. But yeah, I knew that he had sued, but I thought it was worked out for every team. They'd have to profit share anymore.
So
I think you
Because
could
that's when he signed that big deal with Nike when
Yep.
Dion was there
Yep.
with Nike and Pepsi. And he was like, we sell more merchandise than anyone else in the fucking world. We're America's team. We're not fucking sharing it.
So they get everything that's sold with a star on it. The Cowboys get all 31 other teams share in that. It's super smart, man. Like
No shit.
That's
Well,
why
if you're the Cowboys, but if you're the Browns, you're like, cool,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
share with the
let's
other
do it.
31.
Yeah.
it sucks for you, man.
Yeah.
Capitalism.
But you know, it's great with all these bandwagon Chiefs fans like Tanner. They buy all that fucking Chiefs stuff now, you know, and the fucking Patrick Mahomes cereal and the blow up dolls or
Come
whatever
on,
he has.
man.
I don't have a jersey.
Do you have cereal?
No. Well, I have cereal, but it's Cinnamon
You don't have
Toast Crunch.
Mahomes cereal?
I don't have Mahomes. Does the Mahomes have a cereal?
Yeah, it was a
don't
high
know.
V.
Are you going to the playoff game?
No. Tom is,
Okay.
though. He's sitting in the suite.
Tom Brady?
No, the guy that we were out there
The guy
with.
that was outside, he's sitting in freaking suite on Saturday.
Not taking you with?
Dude, Tom played a little minor league baseball.
He's professional.
I thought he played, well, minor, I mean,
Yeah, he's a professional baseball player. That's what I was telling him.
anyway.
No, get Tom in here, dude. I want to see his fastball. I will rope that shit.
All right, so you get through the playoffs.
Yep.
What is?
Then
Oh, sorry.
You go into Super Bowl week. And everybody always talks about how crazy it is and how do you really feel like everybody talks about, oh, this guy's never been in the playoffs versus, you know, this guy's been there before, so they have the upper hand. Do you really think it's an upper
Yeah.
hand when you get into the Super Bowl if you've never been there?
So Super Bowl week is like totally different because you have 2 weeks. So the first week you're just getting ready for the game. Then you travel, and it's a shit show. So the week leading up to the Super Bowl is you're doing all your media stuff. It like you're not, other than an hour and a half of practice, you're not getting the room work. So Tom Coughlin had been to the Super Bowl with Bill Parcells, who's wide receiver coach for the Giants. So like we got all this work done that week in New York, New Jersey, and then we traveled and we just compounded that work. So yeah, it's if you've been there, you understand what it takes. 100%, man. That again, like with not having multiple games, baseball, basketball, hockey, where you're allowed to kind of like intermittently absorb into this championship game set. In football, you got to be ready, man. And the Super Bowl is so weird because everyone can suit up for the game, but for the warm up, and then the 48 guys, I think it is, that are playing come back out suited up. So like your practice squad guys, everybody gets a warm up, and then you come back out, which is no other games like that. So
you're taking what, 80? How many years are?
You get, back then we had 53 active and I think 8 practice squad guys. Now they have like 16 P squad guys. So when I played, if you had 3 active seasons or more, you couldn't be on P squad. Now you can. So like that's why you see like Daniel Jones, Minnesota, he got signed to the practice squad first. So they stopped that. So I think you could have 65 guys suited up to warm up, and then you play the game. So it's just everything takes so long to halftime's longer. The lead up to the kickoff, you have it just is like you have to pace yourself.
It's like a dog and pony show.
It really is. It really is. So like all that stuff matters, man. I mean, at the end of the day, you're playing football, but like you have to manage yourself. So like at halftime, we took all our equipment off, other than our pants. We didn't sit in there naked, which I'm sure you're gonna ask, Brett.
You saw that twinkle in his eye kicking? Yeah.
Wait a minute. Showers? Showers?
Dude, no pants?
Yeah.
Halftime showers.
Come on, guys. But like, it is totally different. But that again, that's all part of it. Enjoy it. Coughlin gave the best pregame the night before speech in 2007. It was so cool. He's like, when you win the Super Bowl, your family wins it. He's like, in our profession, football, there's not a higher calling. The Super Bowl is it. That's now. My brother-in-law is a wrestler, and he argues that I'm not a world champion. I'm a national champion.
Well,
The rest of the world can't play it.
Yeah,
So.
but again, it's the highest calling. So it's like when you're building up to this, it's like, man, there's just not a better feeling. And I remember having that feeling, man. Megan was pregnant with Tucker, and it's just like, holy shit, man. We're done, and we're world champions. It's you can't imagine it now. I'm sure you're gonna ask, Brett, but like the turnover to after that, well, you gotta win another one. You have to. I mean, so that 2008 season was super unique in trying to get back to that. But I don't know, man. It's like being a world champion powerlifter. Like, that's it. You're it. You're the guy.
Well, there's only been so I mean, there's that number, but that have actually teams that have won Super Bowls. I mean, it's not like every team has won them. There's
Nope.
only.
There's
I
a
mean,
lot
if
of
you
teams
look
that
at
haven't even been.
you look at the most winning ones, you know what I mean? They're responsible for what, like 15 or 20 of them. That's only what 4 teams, I think,
Yep.
between like Pittsburgh, San Francisco, Dallas.
And now
And-
Kansas City.
Get the fuck out of here.
They have 4.
So,
New England.
So,
New England. So I mean, between those teams right there, you have like 30 some of the Super Bowls.
dude, it's so funny.
You know what I mean? That's
And-
like 30 some Super Bowls between 5 teams, basically.
yeah, it's
pretty great.
it's impossible.
That's what I'm saying. So to win it and then to go back to back, and then obviously the Kansas City's not going to three-peat, but I mean to three-peat is unheard of.
They might.
They won't.
I mean, it's easy to say they won't because
You're gonna
no one's
make
ever
them
done
cry.
it,
They
but might.
will. Gosh.
I just think Derrick Henry is the addition that's going to hurt them.
Well, they have to get past the Bills first for that to happen.
I know, but they can't get back. I mean, I would love to see Josh Allen beat them, but I don't know if the Bills can beat them.
Lamar, there's
Lamar
there's only
and-
2 quarterbacks that have
Who's the-
beat Mahomes in the playoffs.
But I told you
There's 2.
But that
2.
was before he had Derrick Henry.
Tom Brady and Joe Burrow. That's it.
But that was pre Derrick Henry.
Okay.
That is Dave's lover. We've already talked
Yes.
about this.
So
Yeah. Well,
they got to beat him though. That's where we get into this. That's why I never bet against Mahomes. Like it's just how do you? It's like Brady. Now the big argument is if Mahomes wins 3 in a row, is he better than Brady? Which is the biggest amount of bullshit fucking ever. Brady has 7 Super Bowl rings. What are we talking about? This will be Mahomes' 4th.
well, it would be like through.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, you
It would
tell
be
me.
4.
Yeah, this will be his 4th. This will be.
Oh, they had that
Mahomes'
one, and
4th.
then
They
they
had
won.
Yeah.
He's such a nut hugger, dude.
No,
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 I'm
talk
just
to me.
saying it would just be the only time you
Speak
can
your truth.
The only time you can compare is just from years, like through 7 years, through 8 years.
No.
Well,
No,
because you
no.
can't compare Brady's.
Yes, you can.
Brady's the best unless
When Mahomes wins more Super Bowls than Brady,
Right.
he will be.
he can't
better.
be the GOAT until he beats him.
Yes.
Until he takes it.
That's it.
But the only thing you can talk about is through 7 or 8 years he's like on pace, which in all honesty is fucking hard to do.
Yeah.
It's hard
You
to be
can't-
it's hard to be on Tom Brady's pace. No,
Man,
I mean,
Tom's he went to 10 AFC championships. Like it's so so again, going back to what I was saying earlier.
When he went to
that-
Mahomes
nine
that's
Super
what
Bowls.
Mahomes
makes-
has never missed an AFC championship.
that's what makes Eli as great as he is Eli beat the GOAT.
The
So
head catch.
I won't even until Mahomes gets close to the total. I can't even. He won 3 in a row. Like the Patriots are undefeated. They should have beat us. Like coulda, shoulda, woulda. Well, hey, you know the saying. What do I say about coulda, woulda, shoulda? My aunt had a dick. She'd be my uncle. Coulda, woulda, shoulda, man. So, like until Mahomes.
Well, thanks to you guys, we have to listen to the fucking Dolphins every year when the last team loses. So
Sucks to suck, man. Hey, it gets crazy though. Go ahead, Brett.
Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan,
Thank you.
The best basketball player ever in the history of basketball. Do you know who it is?
You're going to say Larry Bird, aren't you?
Nope.
Kobe,
Kareem.
Shaq would have pushed
Kareem
all over the place.
Abdul-Jabbar is the best basketball player in the history of basketball.
If he would have had to go up against Shaq, he would have got pushed around.
What are you talking about?
Shaq is the most dominant
How
player.
many
ever.
high school national championships did Shaq win?
I don't think there is a high
0.
school national championship.
No, there was. How many did Kareem win?
4.
2.
Okay,
How many college national championships? 3.
it's fine.
And he would have won 4, but they couldn't play as freshmen in college. How many NBA championships did Kareem win?
So is he better than Jordan?
He is the best basketball player ever. Won everything at every level. It's not even close.
And then he changed his name.
Mike's second. Are you a LeBron guy too?
I fucking hate LeBron.
Oh, okay. You like Mahomes. I figured you like LeBron.
I fucking hate LeBron.
He's a big Diddy fan, too.
Can't stop, won't stop.
All in the family, baby.
Oh my God, is that Mace over there?
Dude, I'd do like some Mace though. Come on now. He left Bad Boy
Like
trying to
the
get away from
spray?
that shit. Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So
Preacher.
Yeah.
Kareem's the best basketball player ever. Jordan second. LeBron's third. LeBron's really good.
LeBron sucks.
You think
he's
LeBron's
good.
third? You
No,
don't
you
think
can't.
LeBron's
No,
He's a
good.
flopping pussy.
Yeah,
He's a pussy.
100%
And dude, that title he
pussy.
won in the bubbles bullshit. That one, the COVID
That
title.
one does not count.
Yeah, but guys, think about another. That was good.
Thank you.
Kobe.
Think about another high school kid. Kobe would be the only reference. Kevin Garnett, maybe.
Kobe has
And I'm
more
not even-
championships than LeBron does.
I'm
yeah,
not even
but-
a big Kobe
but-
fan, but
To me, Kobe is it's between Kobe and Jordan. Those are the two best.
Kobe sucks.
Kobe had 5 championships.
You know what the
and he out-fucking
helicopter
worked
said
everybody.
before it landed? You know what the helicopter? This one of my sons told me this joke. You know what the helicopter said before it hit the mountain?
What?
Kobe.
gotta shoot your shot, dude.
Yeah. You know, growing up in California, when you would shoot and say Kobe, it was a joke. It was like, I just shoot all the time like Kobe Bryant. And I'm not, listen, rest in peace. Kobe, the Mamba, is unreal. He is probably 8 or 9 on the all-time best.
No. 2. Behind Jordan.
You've lost your mind, dude.
Who got in there? You got Wilt Chamberlain in there, Dr. J,
I mean,
So-
Will has more championships than all of them,
Yeah. So,
and more ladies.
doesn't he? And more baby
Will?
mamas.
No. You know,
Oh, Russell. Who has the most? Is it Russell?
Yeah, Russell.
Well, here's the thing about basketball championships. Who is the Ori? Ori has more championships than Jordan, Kobe,
yeah, Ori
LeBron.
sucks.
I'm just saying that's
Yeah,
the
but
thing about
how are you throwing Ori in the conversation?
because you're just saying that you have more championships, you're better. Abdul is not better. Kareem
Kobe
Abdul-Jabbar
barely
was
won
not
without
better.
Shaq.
He won 2 with Pau
Shaq's-
Gasol.
Yeah, Shaq's better than Kobe.
Shaq is better
we
than
go- we go-
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Here, I'll give you my top 5.
Okay.
Kareem, Jordan, LeBron, Russell, Larry.
Russell Westbrook.
No,
I'm just joking.
Larry Bird was a stud.
No, Larry.
Where do
Larry-
you put like a Steph Curry though?
6.
Steph Curry's pretty. But
No, Steph is.
you put him ahead of Shaq. Shaq went to other teams in it. Shaq was like Tom Brady. He just went to other teams and won.
I think Shaq and Steph are very comparable on what they did. They changed basketball. Right?
You know who could have been great? Penny Hardaway.
Again, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
I know. Well, yeah, no, I know. But Penny Hardaway and Shaq should have won a bunch of championships for Orlando.
But Shaq wasn't ready. But Shaq, man, dude,
I just love
really?
Shaq. I just love,
Kobe too? What are you talking about?
I just love Shaq as a person. That guy's hilarious and he's a good person
Kobe as a guard scored 81 points in the game.
because he hogged the
I'll
ball.
go to the YMCA right now and score 81.
That's
bro.
not in the NBA.
Yeah,
Right,
but
I
I
know
know
what
it's
do we-
close to the NBA.
So points.
I'm
is-
down for that,
so,
like, right now.
You know what? You're probably a big Durant fan because he's the
I
best
fucking hate
scorer.
Durant.
Yeah, well, what are
I
you
like
talking
Russell
about
Westbrook.
points?
Duran?
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, but look at what Jordan scored when they played defense.
Yes, all time.
Jordan's 1, Kobe's 2.
Kobe is so overrated.
I don't think so.
Yes.
Kobe worked.
Well,
Not
good for
anymore.
him.
Yeah.
I worked hard too when I was a backup my whole life. Okay.
Hey, you're still back up on NFL.
Yeah,
It's
but
more than
that's what
anybody
I'm
else.
saying. Like, what do we mean? Hard work is the basement of what we do. That, like, just because Kobe worked hard doesn't make him good.
No, he was fucking great.
Dude, he witnessed me and Kenny Anatoly. We both started one game our whole career. Come in here and work hard. Were we strong, Brett?
Yeah.
Yeah, hard. Worked
so-
out hard.
Kobe had talent too. It's not like Kobe was talentless.
But what are we talking about? We're judging him on how hard he worked?
5 championships.
Good for him.
2 with Pau fucking
he's-
Gasol.
He's 9 all time. He's top 10, dude.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar just isn't 1.
What do you mean?
He's not 1. He would
How?
not have been able to match up against Shaq.
He won a championship in Milwaukee. No one won one in Milwaukee until Giannis showed up.
Is that before Milwaukee was LA Lakers?
That was when Milwaukee was all white
was before the
people
Bucks, right?
shooting and holding the ball,
Like
winning.
Milwaukee before the Bucks.
Yeah, no, it was the Bucks. Him and Oscar
Weren't they the-
Robinson. No.
Didn't Milwaukee move and then rename?
Kareem left Milwaukee to go to L.A. He won it with Oscar, and Oscar wasn't. Dude, Oscar Robinson is better than Kobe.
What about Pistol Pete?
Better than Kobe.
You said Kobe was 9. Now he's like 12.
Well, John Stockton is up there, dude.
Fuck off.
Karl Malone.
Karl Malone was only Karl Malone because of John Stockton, though.
I guess we got to throw like
but
Nash.
Kobe,
like Steve Nash, probably better than Kobe.
Okay, Kobe's top 15.
just keeps falling down.
Kobe's 2.
Then you got Dwayne Wade.
LeBron's not top 5.
No, Dwayne Wade sucks. He's got a gay son.
Shaq was the. Shaq was.
Is he gay if he's a girl?
No. I don't know. It depends on who he's into.
Mental illness.
Well, but
It depends on who he's into.
Yeah.
Let's not speak on his truth.
But I think Shaq got both those guys championships.
Hakeem is a beast too. Dude.
Hakeem was a beast.
Yep. Man,
We can't agree
Kobe's
on that.
too.
Kobe's 2.
What do we?
Clyde the
Kobe's
Glide.
two.
You had Clyde Drexler in there with
he
with
sucks.
Hakeem. That's how
He
they won the
sucks.
championship.
Yeah, but Hakeem was unguardable.
Tim Duncan.
Nah, I hate that guy.
Yeah, he's top 10.
No way.
Well,
Kobe
just floated to like 30 right now.
What did Kobe do?
He won 5 fucking
He
championships.
hung out in Denver hotels.
Yeah.
Oh, are we talking about NBA players and hotel escapades? Fuck.
I don't know what that means.
They all do it.
I won't disagree.
But no one cares when you're not
Wilt
Kobe.
has 9,000 kids.
Number 2.
Him and Genghis Khan have the most DNA in the world.
So who's number 1? Jordan.
Jordan.
And Kobe's 2.
Kobe's 2.
This is crazy.
Well, we both agreed on 1. We both agreed on Kobe.
But we all agreed that Jordan's number 1 and
No,
LeBron
no,
is
he said
second.
Kareem's number 1.
Kareem's 1, Jordan's 2.
No.
And Kobe's top 50.
Top 100 now.
50. Yeah, he's one of the top 50 ever's pretty good. I'm top.
He was 9 when we started.
I'm top 2,000
So he's not
NFL
lying.
player
He's
ever.
still just expanding.
Oh, we really floated off topic there.
Well, I grew up in
My
California.
eyeballs are
These
floating.
Kobe guys drive me crazy.
I wasn't even a huge Kobe fan.
Well, actually, what
I
about
think
Magic
he was
Johnson? We forgot about Magic Johnson.
Ooh. Yeah, Kobe's top 20 now.
good. Do you know what you call Magic Johnson on roller skates?
Rolaids.
Yep.
That's it was Magic Johnson in a wheelchair when I heard it. Hey, he's got a Congressional Medal of Freedom, dude.
Did he? So did George Soros. So there's that.
The only 2 people that should have got that was him and Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox should have.
Yeah, Michael J. Fox was there shaking things up.
Dude. Joe's out here handing out stuff like him with Kobe and second best ever. You're like a Joe Biden of basketball. You're the best. You're the best.
Oh, man.
Oh, fuck.
I got hit the head.
A lot, obviously.
No, let's hit pause.
Oh, I thought you said you got hit in the head.
No, the head is a naval term for the restroom.
Well, we kind of got
differently.
it. We kind of got it. I said we kind of got it covered.
No, I want to talk about more playoff football. You got more
Yeah.
time?
We can pause this thing, right? Joe Rogan did it the other day.
Yeah, we'll just clip it back and fucking.
Yeah.
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 Come on, don't you guys have producers?
timeout.
This is a high dollar.
This producer's right here.
All right. I can wait.
I can't.
I'm not soft like
You have
Kobe.
to pee too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, fine. We'll just take a piss break. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
Jesus, guys.
We'll be
Pause.
back
You're supposed to pee
we'll be
before.
back after this short piss
I
break.
did.
Yeah, we're back. I'm over the Kobe thing. You had to go throw up.
Yeah, we are.
Bathroom.
We are all back. It was a united pee break there.
This is
You're
the
the
end
dumbest.
of it. This is the end of it.
Well, it can't be. If
No,
you
no,
fucking
no.
this is gonna get
Hey,
yap, then I'm gonna have to yap.
But
We're just
listen,
keep yapping back and forth.
we'll revisit.
Tanner was over here
basketball.
probably
When does-
2020 Facebook fact checking you.
Yeah, when does basketball end?
June.
Yeah, okay. So let's come back then. We'll talk about the best ever because Giannis might, if he wins another one, he's probably going to jump Kobe. Too.
Oh God.
So we'll come back and visit the
We're talking about the
basketball.
Greek freak now.
Yeah, we'll come back and revisit that.
Okay.
What about that dude from Dallas though?
I got
Dirk?
his jersey, dude.
Dirk was good. though,
Dirk
too.
was yeah, fuck. Kobe's like 23rd.
That's what I'm saying. Just list him as top 50, and we can move on.
No, we're done. We got to talk about football.
Yeah.
We'll move on.
2
Okay.
minutes. Moving on.
Okay, so you win your first Super Bowl. It was all the rage. All the kids were excited.
Yep.
Then you come back.
I had my child in August. 08, best football team ever played on. Like we were.
And that's your one.
Plaxico-
You were there in 07. You guys won in 08.
Yeah,
at the
we
end of
won
08.
07 Super Bowl. That's what we were talking about prior to this. Is I consider the 08 Super Bowl in February is the 07 season. So we went in 07. 08, we're 11-1. We lost to Cleveland in Cleveland. It was wild. We were like, so Coach Coughlin comes in. He's like, Plexico had an accident. We're like, oh, man, he got in a car wreck. Well, no, he shot himself.
In a nightclub,
Yeah.
carrying a gun in sweatpants or
Yeah,
something.
like,
That's brave.
that's not an accident. Like he had a Glock with him in his sweatpants. I love guns. Like I didn't even bring one down here with me because I knew I was drinking. Like now I didn't grow up like Plexico either. So a couple weeks prior to him shooting himself, Steve Smith, our wide receiver, got robbed by like a taxi guy or the guy who was waiting in his house. So like Plexico grew up in Newport News, Virginia, like hood. So like ultimately I know Plexico really well. His son is one of them, I think, just committed to Notre Dame. Plexico's a really good dude. Now, this is where like this podcast could be really good for a guy like Plexico. Plexico was super smart. Went to Michigan State. That offense that we had, like you would line up on a play call and you could have 4 different routes depending on what the defense was showing you. So like Plexico's super smart dude. It's just like, hey, my boy got robbed 2 weeks prior. He was with Antonio Pierce, which sucks. He got fired from Las Vegas, but that's another side note. It wasn't like he was gangbanging, you know. He just had that gun on him. Now that ended up introducing. We had off-duty police officers that would take us places after that. But he shot himself. He was. Man, I don't want to rat anybody out, but Plexico was on the free and clear. We got it. I'm going to say we, and I mean a franchise. We got him to the emergency room under a fake name. A nurse saw him and called the New York Post or something.
Bitch.
Fucked us. So he would have been all right for the playoffs.
We got suspended, or
No. Back then, you know, a little gunplay doesn't hit, man. You don't get suspended for that.
did you have who was it Goodell or who was was it Tagliaville?
It was Goodell, but this is the new time. I mean, now you can't even hit your wife, you know?
Right?
Back in the good old days, you could be charged with charged with murder and put in the
Yeah,
Super
you
Bowl.
could backhand your wife back in the good old days.
Was it Ray Lewis accused of
Yeah,
murder?
he murdered somebody.
No, I mean, come on now.
Yeah,
Get a fall guy.
Allegedly murdered somebody.
yeah.
You know, he took Chris Carter's advice. Always have a fall guy.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was wondering. Like, why didn't Plexico have a guy like around
Well,
him?
he shot himself.
Right, but like he
So
shouldn't have the
Antonio
gun.
was with him. We'll talk about this off air because I don't want to
Fair.
rat somebody out. Plexico went to prison because he wouldn't shit on any of the guys that were with him about what happened. So Plexico was our cover 3 beater. So you would always have to run cover 2 because Plexico would get vertical. When you run cover 2, you don't have enough guys in the box. So that's when Brandon Jacobs and Derek, what's Derek's last name? They both ran for 1,000 yards that season because of Plexico. Because you had to go to
And this is your
safeties.
post Super Bowl season.
This is 08. So you had to go 2 high safeties because of Plaxico. He was the only vertical threat we had. And then we ran the ball. We had Derek Ward. We had 2,000-yard rushers on the team because of that. Once we lost Plaxico, everyone went cover 3, and you couldn't run the ball. And Eli's a play-action pass guy. So, like, we get to the playoffs. We get the number 1 seed. I just looked this up because ESPN had an article about how well the number 1 seed is done. And typically they go far into the playoffs. Well, we lost that season to Philly at home.
I hate Philly.
And it was
Everyone hates Philly.
when I was retiring, everybody's like, would you keep playing? I'm like, the only team I wouldn't play for is Philadelphia. Fuck them.
And they called you.
No. I wish they did so I could tell them to fuck off, but funny story about the gym here. Kenny and I were lifting. This is 2013 season. And we pull up to the gym here. We've been lifting just in case someone signed us. And this is probably like October. And I look at Kenny, I'm like, let's retire. He's like, you want to? I'm like, yeah. So we get back in the car. We didn't come in. When's the last time Brett saw us lift here? Just one day we stopped showing up, right?
I remember when you were coming in here, and I was like, dude, what's it like playing for like the shittiest team in the league? And you're like, I don't know, dude, I just got cut. And I was like, oh.
I remember that story.
Were you at the Raiders?
So the gym had been open for 2 years.
We opened it in December of 2012.
Yeah, a year. So Brett was like, man, I got Drew Dober in here. I got these 2 NFL guys. Like, he's trying to get his foothold. Rick's gym just closed down, Big Iron. And Brett was young. He's like, Dave, how's this? I'm like, yeah, I don't have a job now. And he's like, oh, shit.
I'm
Sorry.
looking for someone to work the front desk.
Yeah, these dirtbags in here.
Yeah. God, you fucking wannabes.
Kenny had like tore his bicep, I think, right?
He tore his tricep.
Tore his tricep. That was right.
Oh. Dude, we were in here getting after it, though, the year leading up to that, prior to that. Shit, I was like, Brett, you got bigger dumbbells? We were getting after it, weren't we?
And then we bought bigger dumbbells, and they're sitting outside. Amber's working, and she's like, hey, Dave, can you help carry these in? He's like, I got to talk to my agent. I can't be carrying that shit in here.
But the weight we were lifting was like, I was shoulder pressing 130s, like dumbbells. Like, it's egregious. I was like, Brett, you need to get some 150s for dumbbell press. He's like, dude, I have no money.
We were fresh.
Paying $20 a month to be a member. He's like, I just started this gym.
Who was that? Oh, that was Zach Bowman that tore his bicep, trying to arm tackle Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, that's right. For Chicago. So that season after the Super Bowl was so stressful because you want to.
You got a target on your back.
Well, and you want to redeem yourself, especially after us beating the undefeated Patriots. You want to see like this wasn't an accident, you know. And then we lose, and then it's like, shit, we're all getting fired. Like, the NFL was so stressful. They work out guys every Tuesday. So, like, I was the bottom of the roster, and I was, shit, in 2011 season, I had 5 sacks. Like, I wasn't bad. But every Tuesday, they work out dudes trying to replace you. So, the bottom.
Like every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday of the season. So,
Like they bring him in like right next to you guys or what?
Oh, I would go in on Tuesdays and I'd ask the strength coaches, like, did you guys work out a big white guy? Because, like, that's, I'm the only white dude. Like, I feel like affirmative action.
Yeah.
Like, if they're going to replace me.
They're probably going to replace you with another big white dude.
Yeah, I would think.
You would hope.
I'm not the smartest guy, but shit, you think if they do another black dude, that's kind of racist.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to keep the white guy around.
Yeah.
You got it. You got to have the
That's
token
what
white guy.
Strahan said, right?
Is that what he said?
I vouch for you, shitty white dude. So, like, leading up to the second Super Bowl run, like, we went, I think, 10-6 the year prior, 8-8 the year before that. So, like, as bad as the Giants are now, the year we went 8-8, we're all fucked. We're all getting fired. Like, you can. I wish my wife works now and she works super hard, but I wish the pressure on you mentally in the NFL to perform weekly is so high. It just is a crazy feeling to know, like, okay, like if I don't perform this week, they're gonna find someone better than me. You know,
Well, yeah. Well, I think it's crazy because everyone knows the stars, right? But there's probably 10 people safe on every NFL team, and the other
If
45
that,
are
yeah.
the other 45 are just one play away from never.
Yeah. And it's such a unique thing, especially how things are nowadays, right? We post COVID, everybody works from home. What do you say to me? You made me feel bad. And then, like, the world I lived in for my job was like, fuck you. We're actively looking to replace you weekly.
Every Tuesday.
Yes.
If there's a big white guy coming in here.
Yeah. And it's such now, for some reason, Kenny and I keep talking about Kenny Anatolu. He played for the Vikings, went to the CFL, played at UNO. Kenny and I lifted together. Like, we somehow used that as motivation to constantly improve. And it's like, now having kids, it's like, I don't want to make them feel that way, but I also want them to, like, you always have to get better. Mm-hmm. That's it, man. My son right now has microfractures in his right leg, in his lower leg, in the tibia and fibula. He's like, what do? I put a boot on him so he doesn't mess it up more. He's wrestling at Elkhorn at 175. He's a sophomore. But I'm like, lift up her body.
Yeah.
You guys deal with that in the weight room. I'm injured. Well, what can we do?
Well, they're even doing single leg stuff. You get a sympathetic response on the other leg, so he should still single leg squat and all that stuff.
So I talked to the doctor today. He's like, well, I don't even want him doing stand-up curls. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Shut up, pussy.
Yeah, but
Most
it's
doctors
like
aren't pussies.
Let's take advantage now that he's wrestling 175. He weighs 165. Let's take advantage of this time. I know it sucks, but let's upper body, shoulders, back. So my buddy, who's a doctor that I play football with at Northwest Missouri State, he's a doctor. He's a Canadian dude. He's a citizen now. He's down in Austin. He does bodybuilding competitions and shit. Travis is the real deal. He's like back, push and pull every other day, all week. Do it 4 days a week, push and pull, get him working. But so that's what's so unique about this pressure, which you guys understand, that everybody thinks we're crazy. It's like, no, this is the real world. And I'm using a sport, football, what I've learned. I didn't have a dad. He left before I was born. So, like, football's my comfort level. Like, I'm using that for my children to be like, we have to get better. I'm hurt. And where are you hurt? Let's change the circumstances. So that was honestly and I'll wrap this back to that second Super Bowl run, is like, we didn't get healthy till late in the season, but Tuck, OC, all those dudes were getting ready.
Oh, I forgot about OC.
Best pass rusher in those 5 years in the NFL. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He would study snap count. I had to be at special teams meetings at 7 in the morning, so we ate at 6:30. And I'd walk by the D-line room, and he'd watch the television copy side by side with the all 22 and listen to the snap count. And every week he would have a presentation to us how the quarterback lifts his heel before he says the real snap count. So, like, OC's this soft dude that doesn't play the run. He spent hours, 10 hours a week on understanding their snap count. Like that's what Patrick Mahomes, naturally gifted, can do everything. Like, dude, this guy knows who your fucking cousin is. Like like he knows your cousin and your aunt are coming in town and you're gonna get an hour less sleep. Like it's the NFL, man, is super unique in that the amount of information that you can garner prior to a competition is so much, and you can use that, you know? Whereas powerlifting, if you suck, you suck.
It's true.
Some more steroids.
All right, before we get done, how much do steroids, growth hormone, and that type of stuff matter if you're not naturally gifted? I know you guys have an opinion on that. So
I think it's what you do with the steroids.
I think there's a limit on everybody regardless, right? Like
naturally, genetically, right?
there's a genetic limit, but there's also a steroid limit. Like you can put two athletes next to each other, put them on a bunch of shit, and one of them's really good and one of them sucks. You know what I mean? Like Barry Bonds could always hit a baseball. You put him on some juice, he hits it a little bit further.
So you hear the bodybuilders talk about Ronnie and how he handled the gear.
Right. So I think like if you were to, Dave Tate has a really good talk on it. So if you were to rate people's like potential, like 1 to 10, right? You could have someone who's going to cap out naturally at like a 6. They do steroids, maybe it gets them to a 7, maybe an 8, right? Mm-hmm. You have another person who caps out at a 6 and they do steroids, same stuff, do their own stuff. Maybe they just get to like a 5.5. And you got another guy and maybe he gets all the way to a fucking 9 because he just handles it better. So like
The
you have
receptors and everything are.
yeah, so you have like your genetic potential that you can get to, but then you also have how you react to the gear and the different combinations. Like we've lifted with people where like I could do that same amount of gear, all the stuff, whatever, and I'm never ever.
Well, then you have like Ronnie Coleman, who's a genetic 10 already,
Right.
And then he responds well, and
Right.
he'll put the fucking work in.
Right, so that's the
and
best
he's a
of the
psychopath,
best, right?
So he ends up at 15.
So you have like your genetic potential to 10, your acceptance and your reaction to the anabolics is a level 10. So he's getting the best of the best of the best.
Yeah.
So your levers.
Yeah.
Well, and
So-
I think when like what you do with it, like I think I've seen plenty of guys take juice and then they like don't train that hard. I mean,
They use it because they don't have the drive. Like it takes.
if
like,
it
so
gives you
many
the
things.
ability
Yeah.
to train to push past your normal limits, and I think if you capitalize on that, plus you have the genetics, like we trained with a guy who he would just like talk about getting on juice and get bigger. You know what I mean? But
he also trained hard.
He trained super hard.
Yeah.
So it gives you that ability. But if you're just like, I'm just going to keep doing my same workouts and just get on juice, you're going to get something. But when you start actually like capitalizing on what the anabolics are doing for you as far as your recovery, and you can train that little bit harder and get your recovery better, that's where I think you get the most.
still
out of it.
Most people on steroids look natural because they don't do much.
I know right away what dudes look like when they're on juice. So I was around it at Gold's Gym in Walnut Creek. I dabbled in it in JUCO, got super strong, tore my shoulder up, right? So like I'm an advocate for performance enhancers, but people don't understand they really don't know what it can do for you, how you're genetically inclined to accept that extra.
Yeah, genetics still play a role in it.
Genetics play a huge role.
Huge. Like I learned about creatine. So Matt Winning, trained my buddy. Matt was great. Matt was trying to get me on insulin.
Oh God.
You can die off insulin.
Well,
There was like a rash of like 5 bodybuilders who did it a couple years ago.
But he was like, Dave, a lot of people don't understand your sugar with protein intake. And that's when I started my Gatorade. So in 2011, it was the lockout year. I don't think we were working out. We weren't here.
We weren't open.
But I started.
Would have been though if you were.
But I started drinking Gatorade after every workout. and I had never done that. And just spiking my insulin at that instance prior to protein intake, I got to 287. I had never, my thought was always drink my protein shake. I need protein right away. But I had never understood, like, there's a biological thing that has to happen prior to your body absorbing protein.
Yeah, carbs.
And I got super big. And it's like, okay. Now,
I think
you might have to cut this out, but I was on a shitload of growth hormone. It wasn't illegal yet in the NFL. Matt, I don't want to rat Matt out. You can cut this out, but Matt got me on that.
I don't care for him.
But Matt was like, why aren't you on it? My buddy was training with Matt in Cleveland. He's like, they're not testing you for it. Why aren't? Now, it took 2 years to get that from growth. It took a ton of time to garner that. Like, I wasn't on.
You were doing a ton of it then.
What would be a normal IU a week?
I don't know.
They usually come in like kits.
Yeah, so I was on
Not that I would know.
3 IUs a week.
heard from a guy in a bathroom.
You know,
Okay.
but like it changed who I was. My glove size grew. I went to a
You get, like,
4X
fat,
glove.
squishy
My
hands,
helmet grew. Like
heart
my
grows?
feet grew.
Your heart-
One
It's
full size.
growth hormone.
My stomach got distended.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it was the best I ever felt in my life, dude. But it took 3 years of being on it.
And that's where I think a lot of people miss the ball on like steroids. They're like, oh, I'm going to take steroids in like 4 weeks. I'm going to get fucking yoked. No, you're not.
I used to work with guys at 24 Hour that would just take juice and like not do anything.
So I did that.
Because people don't know what they're. Yeah, people.
So
do
I
that.
got my testosterone tested, and it's super low. So there's a ton of studies with the pituitary gland, NFL players, basically male menopause that happens from
It's called menopause.
from head trauma.
Yeah.
So like I have like I think it was like 120, 80, between 80 and
Well, that's pretty
120 at 40 years old, you know. So I started taking supplements, TRT, and I didn't lift. And I felt like shit. Shit. Like I had to give blood every month, and it was just a nightmare. And and that to me was such an eye opener. It was like everybody looks at these people that gear up and they're like, oh, they're cheating. It's like, dude, it's such a
You have to put in the work
lifestyle.
still.
Yes.
I think people who have never taken steroids or have never been around it or have never been around athletes like don't understand the difference.
Yep.
Like a lot of times it'll just take. It's the guy. It's 53 on the roster, right?
I bet
that's just
so let
trying
me
not
tell
to
you
be
this,
fit.
though.
That's just trying to be 48.
I bet there were, out of those 53 guys, I bet 20 of us were on growth back then.
Yeah, but for a lot of people, it's the people that it's the people that are 53 on the roster that are trying to move up to 48.
Yeah.
Right, like it's just trying to make you incrementally
You can't-
better. It doesn't.
Yeah.
it's not fucking superhuman shit.
Yeah.
you
It's
have
the ace
to.
card, right? It's like you've tried everything.
Can you imagine who'd you say that? Brandon Jacobs.
Oh,
Can you
Jason
imagine
Pierre-Paul. He, like, even if those guys lifted. Now, here's where it gets really funky, and we're up against time, but like,
We're not.
but what if those dudes' growth hormone levels and testosterone levels are probably 3 times as high as me, genetically? Like, so, that's the whole fight game with the TRT stuff. Is like, how do you
like you've defined normal,
what's
but
fair?
right
When someone's pituitary gland is on overdrive, and they get way more milligrams of test in their system.
Right. Let's just call 1,300 the cap.
Yeah.
Like you can do it if you're naturally at 1,300. Cool. If you have to add to get to 1,300, cool. Like, but we'll just call 30, whatever. Come up with some cap, because then you could really be quasi. But even then, like your response at 1,300 is going to be different than mine. Different than
Well,
Brett's,
I think
different than yours.
I feel that everyone has a number.
Everyone,
Like,
everyone, 100%.
Everyone just has a number that you felt the best at.
Yeah.
And that number's for men between 800 and 1,200 somewhere.
Yeah.
And if you can just stay around your number, you're going to feel good.
What's
8 to 9 for
crazy
me
is,
feels great.
is my I love my normal physician. She's great. She's like, your level is too high for me to help you like a regular doctor, which I think at that point I was at 120 or 125 and the number was 110. She's like, but you have
what?
Testosterone.
Oh, to be in like the normal range for your age?
Fuck
off.
But that was the normal range for any man.
Right.
Over
like average man at 40.
That's because insurance
Not
companies
even
don't want to
40.
pay for it.
Not even
That's
40.
all men.
It
Yeah.
was like you could be 70 and then they'd help you. Like a lot of, you hear Joe Rogan talking about testosterone is the building block of manhood.
Yep.
It should all be based on like how you feel. Because like Tanner was saying, so I got tested I've been on TRT since I was like fucking 24 and I'm 42 now. And I tested out and my first test was like 89. My next one was 120 and then I was like 100. And back then it was the old, I don't know if you guys remember like Testum, like the little, like the gel, they'd give you these little 1 ounce toothpaste tubes and you had to like squeeze it and put it on your shoulder. It was stupid. It was horrendous. And then finally they're like, or we can just inject it. And I was like, fucking let's do that. And so talking with my doc back then, so this would have been, I don't know, math is bad. Yeah, so we'll call
Didn't
it
you go
20
to school
years
for
ago.
math?
Yeah, but that's different. So we'll call it 20 years ago, 2004 to 06-ish. I got up to just over 300. My doc's like, oh, you're good. You're in the normal range. I'm like, I still feel like shit, man. And he's like, well, you're in the normal range. I don't know what. And so it took a long time to go back and forth. And then eventually I ended up going to one of those like man clinics because I knew that they would just push it as high as they could. And so we did that. And I was like, hey, I feel pretty good. And they're like, all right, well, let's try this, see how you feel. And I kept feeling better and better. And then at some point I was like, bro, I don't feel good, bro. Yep. And that's when I hit somewhere like I was running around at like 1,200-ish, something like that. Yep. And so we dialed it back down to like 8 to 9. But like the cool thing was like we always talked about how I felt before. And then like I never knew what the number was until we had it dialed in on like what I felt best at. And then we started talking about, oh, here's where your numbers are. Let's watch your estradiol, these other things. But like I think measuring how you feel is it's a much better indicator. Because like my dumbass, I was like, oh, let's just jack that number through the roof.
Well, that's most people don't understand. Like there's at your top 1,200 range.
Yeah.
When you go like between 1,200 and like 2,000, you feel like absolute dog shit.
So
like,
my red,
but people would like if you go above that is where the like crazy people live, right?
Yeah.
And they're gigantic,
Yeah.
right. But there's like a middle range where you just feel like shit.
so my red blood cell count got
Hematocrit?
Oh, dude, was wild. And I'm like, wait a minute. So I got to give blood
Yeah.
every month? Like this
But
is
someone's getting your blood and they're like, oh, shit. Yeah.
but
Spicy.
But like my sleep is terrible. Mm-hmm. So it's not even that. That's where a lot of guys, and we're getting into like fucking therapy situations now. But a lot of guys think about it as sexuality with testosterone. Like I have a super active sex life. My dick gets hard when I have sex. Like.
Well, that's good.
But
Yay.
but a lot of men don't understand. Like it affects your sleep.
It affects everything about every
It's who you are.
It affects your brain.
It's the building block of us as men.
Yeah.
You know. So I'm always like, it was funny when I showed up in 2011. They signed me a week into camp, and I go sit down next to OC's like, get the fuck out of here. Because I was on the growth and stuff. He's like, Dave, you look ridiculous, dude. And I'm like, dude, I feel great. He's like, all right, man. Like, but you would think
He's like, we don't have any more helmets.
you would think your teammates would be like, my teammates were so cool about who I was and what I was doing. I wasn't infiltrating on who they were and their skill set. You know, like, guys, I'm trying to make it. And if I don't do these things, I can't hang with you guys.
Yeah.
You know, and they all know, like, they were so cool about it. And it's like, you think it's this big bad boogeyman deal, but it really isn't.
Well, that was like the golden era of UFC to me was, you know, with Dan Henderson and a lot of those guys, and they would let those guys do TRT, until fucking lame ass USADA or whatever came in there.
Well, let's be honest. Like it's entertainment.
Well, if you really want to find out who the best in the world is, you have to get rid of drug testing.
Yeah, I mean, you want to see superhuman
Or
performance.
everyone gets.
Just get rid of the testing.
And then or you test everyone the same way, and it's like 500-pound bench is the best in the world, which sucks. You remember what was that documentary on Netflix with Hulk Hogan? They had Hulk in it, and he's like, I didn't know Hulk Hogan when he said take your vitamins, he meant steroids, bigger, faster, stronger, something like that.
Oh yeah.
But like he was like, what's more American Pie than trying to be your best?
That's the old Dale Earnhardt. He said, you want to find out who the real man is, you take the restrictor plate off and see he'll go 200 miles into the corner and come out of it.
Yeah.
He's like, you want to find out who the real man is.
I think there's also a difference between like the 17-year-old kid
Well,
who's
yeah, I
trying
think
to get
that
like
should be
yoked and figure it out.
This should be our show
versus,
disclaimer.
Like you're a professional, you're a grown adult,
Yes.
and you're like, hey, I am trying to stay relevant in this league where I make money and I get paid and I do shit.
So my son has brought that up. He's like, so and so is on steroids. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like it
doesn't look like it.
Pussy.
It's not even when that became an option for me in my career was when I was up against it. This is the best that I can do.
Yeah, you hit that.
I was 20 years
genetic
old,
max.
21. Yeah. I was like, all right, I have to help myself. So it's such a unique conversation, and I hate how like berated it is, because it's like ultimately as an adult you have your own option, like you're saying, but it's like what we want to see as fans. The best
You want to
of
see
it.
superhuman shit, man.
Well, that's like I
Not
said.
everybody loves a chubby Patrick Mahomes.
You do though.
I would fucking kill him.
like sexually or
No,
just like in general?
all of it.
But my comparison,
I would smoke his ass, dude. No homo.
He's the bottom.
I don't know if he kind of waddles. He waddles pretty
No.
fast.
I would,
I bet he's got a tight prison wall the way he walks.
If my son just
Whistles.
watched my high school highlight film, my old coach sent it to me. I didn't have it. It was on DVD. It's awesome. We watched it on Xbox. He's like, what was wrong with you? I was like, dude, I wanted to kill someone playing football. Like, that was my goal, was to have a dead body on my hands. Like, I was murdering, spearing everything, dude. I broke Ellis Hobbs' neck in the NFL. I think I ended 3 or 4 dudes' careers that I hit on kickoff that never played football again. And it was just this, it's not good. It's super unhealthy to think this way. But I wanted to kill someone that I played football against. Like, it was just how I felt. I was trained by people that aren't as good as me. Humans, but there's something to be said about that. Like, that's what makes me so proud as a dad, is like, what other venue do we have for young men? We got wrestling, we got football. Like, we don't have
Coliseum, baby.
Yeah, Jesse Armstead, Ring of Honor for the New York Giants. When I broke Ellis Hobbs' neck, he fucking grabbed me on the sideline. He's like, "This is what they want."
Yeah. I mean, everyone's kind of sad, but everyone's kind of like,
Every
shit,
game after that, he's like, "Give them what they want, Dave. This is the fucking Coliseum."
Well, it's like watching NASCAR. People watch it for the wrecks.
Yep.
They watch hockey for the fights. You know what I mean? It's
Give them what they want, dude.
Yep.
This is the modern day Coliseum. And I was like, fuck it. All right, let's see if I can kill somebody.
And this is why we have the helmet
The
rules now.
Yeah, that's why I think.
dude, every time I see one of those guys wearing those padded helmets, I think they're a pussy.
Oh, I do too.
But they
fucking
get
hate
paid
it.
so much fucking money too. Like,
right? It's that fine line, right?
I'm not I love the new rules. My kids play football. I'm all with it. But like, when you get to the NFL and now college with the NIL stuff, is like, what are we paying them for?
Yeah.
You're
Right.
getting paid a king's ransom to play a kid's game. We're paying you that much money because we want to see people immobilized on the ground.
Right? You want to see that hit, and everyone goes, "Oh
Yeah,
shit!"
I mean, but it sucks. I don't know a better way to frame it, but like, let's just stop at college then. Like, you're getting paid a lot of money. We want dead bodies.
Right, like walking that fine line of like UFC changing from old school UFC to like new UFC, right? Because now people, it's a career. You're not just showing up to like win a tournament.
Yeah.
You want to fight multiple
You're
times.
not some guy in the
But-
crowd with gym shorts. They're like, "Can you
Yeah.
fight?"
right? But you also want to see. You want to see violence.
Yeah.
You want to see fucking unadulterated violence.
And that's such a unique American guerrilla warfare, revolutionary war stuff. It's that's what makes us different, man. And if we get away from that, who
Then
are
we're just
we?
fucking England.
Yeah. Bunch of redcoats. Seriously.
Yeah.
Or Canadians. Worse.
We're gonna own Canada.
Canada, that's what it is.
Canada, America's hat.
Yeah.
That's what I call it.
I don't even care about Canada, but I do want some. I want Greenland.
I do too. I
And
don't know
actually, I
why.
think Greenland
Yeah.
wants to be here too.
yeah. I think it's going to work out well.
I think good. Yeah, man. Come on.
Big
How
ass
about,
thing.
how about the president of Mexico talking shit? I was like, we beat you with minimal army, and now we're way better.
Yeah.
That's probably not your best move.
Panama. I agree. Let's get Panama back
Yeah.
so I don't have to use my passport. I can just fly there with my ID, right? They're a state now.
And I do think
Greenland.
the Gulf should be the Gulf of Americas.
I love it.
It should be the Gulf of Americas.
Do you know what? Do you know why it should just be the Gulf of America? Because that's the one that matters. But do you know? Did you see the?
He did it
someone-
because Biden said he couldn't drill in the Gulf of Mexico, but no one said he couldn't drill in the Gulf of Americas.
Yeah.
I think it's like not again, guys. We'll get political. We all feel the same way, but like, why can't we have Greenland?
We should.
Greenland wants to be. They've asked
Yeah.
a bunch of people there.
Yeah,
They're
we're
like,
good. And it's really good to build data centers in because it's cold.
Even the prime minister of Greenland was like, "I'm down to talk."
Yeah, you talk about data centers and the ice. It's like people are like,
Can they
"Oh,
vote
that's
to
messed
secede?"
up." There's 50,000 people there.
They can probably do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Yeah,
Alaska turned out to be a pretty good purchase. I think we
I
bought it
mean,
for like
Trump called
$1.
Canada the 51st state, and Trudeau fucking resigned.
why
He called,
not?
he called him the governor, and then he told him, "You're not the governor anymore." The other day.
Yeah.
It's good, man. We gotta flex our muscles, man. And
While we still have them.
Yeah, we have to, man. So I don't know how many kids you guys have, but I got 3 boys. So as this thing ramps up who we are as America, my sons are gonna fight, not me. So it's like I want a country that's strong, that can defend itself and
Keep
Like,
the kids safe. Have good
when
future.
I vote, I think about my kids because I'm not going to bear that cross. I'm too
Right.
old now, right? So, but I want my sons to be married, bear children. We talk about all this, no one having kids now. Like, I have to talk my friends into having kids. My wife almost died with our second child. We had a third. If she couldn't have if she could have more kids, which she can't, we'd have 7. What are we doing here?
I mean, I got 0, and so does Matt.
True.
Come on, man. Get to work, son.
I'm taking care of the children here.
No,
every day.
you gotta, dude. You know how many stupid people have kids
A lot of them.
all the time?
Tanner's got a bunch.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
This guy thinks Kobe's number 2.
Yeah, that's probably his son's name, Kobe. But
It's all their middle names.
But have like we have to have children, man. What are you doing? Right?
I'm raising the children. at the
Whatever
gym.
I want.
Yeah, whatever I want, actually.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, they always got you on that one, which is the
They
most
do,
fucked
yeah.
up part.
Yeah. But if we're not having children, who
Stupid
is?
people are going to overpopulate us.
Yep.
That's why Elon has 27 kids.
Dude, I would have at least 10. My wife hates me. I was like, if I knew how cool kids were, I would have impregnated you in college. They're fucking.
You were trying.
Dude, my best. But like kids, it's unreal. You're never gonna have enough money. It's the best thing that will ever happen to you. We talked about this pre-show.
And now during the show.
I'm just saying, man.
Gotta keep
I'm
pace.
getting my truth out, man. I've been saying this to my friends. I haven't been able to do it. Now I'm on a podcast. I want the nation to know that Christians should have children. It's okay.
Lots of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah,
That's
man.
Dave's Nike slogan.
It's fine. We don't have enough money. No one does.
I do.
Yeah, have kids.
Then I won't have enough money.
Why don't you have kids?
Just no. Neither one of us.
Dude, don't
were
even
committed.
get a wife. Go to a center and have some. Just you and your kids running around. You don't even need a wife, which I would recommend maybe not having one.
I mean, in hindsight,
There's a bunch of chicks and dudes running around with you, man. Going to the gym.
be great.
It's really swerved.
Just a harem.
That might be. Is that our clue? Is that our cue?
Yeah, that's really swerved out of.
I'm just saying.
This
have
is
kids.
directly connected to NFL playoffs.
Yes.
And children. If you don't have children, do you have no one to play in the
The
NFL? I don't know what
guys
to tell you.
playing in the playoffs were kids of somebody. How about that?
That is accurate.
That is true.
Tyreek Hill has a lot of kids.
Yep.
They'll probably play in the NFL.
I
Probably.
bet not. I bet one makes it.
The odds are for him.
It's true.
You say you bet one. I bet one of mine don't.
Also true. Well, I feel like we covered a lot of random things there, but
There
we
we
did
go.
talk about the playoffs.
Yeah.
We did talk about the Super Bowl, life. We'll throw our disclaimer for anabolics in there. When you're young, you have a lot of testosterone. Don't worry about that.
Quick before Tanner says something. Yeah.
But we appreciate you guys listening. We appreciate Dave coming on.
I love it, Brett. You guys are killing it. This is so unique.
Appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me, man.
Hey, we love having
need
you
to
on here.
come. I need to come down more, man.
I text you. You don't always
agreed.
reply.
Yeah, I'm busy. Kids are wrestling.
Left unread.
Texting you's
Playing
like
football.
texting Drew Dober. I got to reply like every fucking third time.
Yeah, he's awake. Drew's not cooler than me. He's never won a championship.
Ooh. That's
Oh, shots fired.
well, yeah, I mean, he has. No, he hasn't. Actually, in victory, he didn't win a
Yeah,
championship
he
either.
didn't. I know he didn't. He's a.
Would you let him?
above
Would you let him punch you though?
He's a
Yeah.
handsome fella.
Right in the face
Yeah, I would. Yeah, Drew's
for free?
no. Nah, for free? Do I get to punch it back?
If you're still up,
Yeah,
he gets first shot though.
yeah. It'd be all right.
Wow.
He's not. He you know, Drew's done well.
You know, he's
for-
tied for the most knockouts in the lightweight division.
Yeah, lightweight.
I'm still not taking that hit.
Yeah, no, I'll take it from him.
Like with a glove, with a boxing glove.
No, a UFC
No,
glove.
UFC
yeah,
glove?
UFC. I would. I like my chances.
right.
I've been punched in the face a lot. I've gotten fights. I like because I either want to get knocked out right away when I get in a fight or win the fight. So I always let the guy punch me first
First.
because then you know I'm done because I'm asleep.
But what if they don't stop after you fall asleep? That's the problem
No,
with going
I'll
to
be
sleep.
fine. I'll go to the doctor and get stitched up. But you always want to get hit first. Because then you know.
No.
So you know what you're dealing with? You mean?
No.
Yeah.
Like you know what kind of power they're bringing?
Yeah.
I would prefer to not
I
get
would
hit.
always hit first.
Yeah.
No.
Like if I think there's a fight, I'm
Yeah.
just
No,
throwing.
I want to just give me your best, and then we're going to go.
Or you're going to be out.
Yeah, or you're going to fall
Yeah, then
asleep.
the fight's over.
No, I don't have to stop. If you're asleep, I don't have to stop hitting you.
Well, it's
Yeah,
kind of
but
fucked up
I'm
to do.
asleep and I don't feel it.
But you might not wake back up though.
Yeah, okay, then I'm dead and I'm going to heaven because Jesus died for me.
And he's
okay?
like, not anymore, pussy. You
Yeah.
lost.
But then I know where I'm at.
I think that is one
It
way.
kind of makes sense.
No, it
It,
doesn't.
like, if you don't think about it very hard, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah.
just finish me off.
Anyway, we appreciate you guys listening. like, subscribe, share, follow, watch the playoffs. Let's keep, Tanner's good. We know who Tanner's cheering for.
Jace.
I'd love to see Josh Allen win. I like Josh Allen.
Yep.
But the Ravens are pretty stout, too. So we'll see what happens this year. All right, guys. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for listening.